Hey, what is up everyone, it's Rich. Alright, welcome to a video. This will be interesting. Boy, I'll tell you what, coming back to YouTube after the last 4 days of exciting comic news is interesting. I don't even know what to say anymore. Honestly, like a year ago, I remember I would do like book videos and, I would just pick it on art and I wouldn't really know sometimes the background on different people or whatever. And I started going like, man, some people say some pretty like crazy stuff online, meaning that out of their own mouth. And as things have evolved over the last year, it's gotten more and more crazy. I don't even know what to think anymore. It's like people always want me to collaborate with other people on YouTube. I'm like, it's too risky, man. I just want to represent myself. You already know what I'm about. I'm about art. And that's it. All this other stuff. Ay. Alright, so let's do this. I wanted to look at some Steve Ditko. I don't know Ditko's work very good at all. In fact, I would pretty much say that I don't really know it. So this will be interesting for me. I pulled up a random selection of Amazing Spider-Man work. From what I understand, it looked like he worked on issues 1 to 38. I may actually have real copies of some of these comics I had mentioned in the other video that I have. I have a pretty decent Amazing Spider-Man collection, but they would be beaters if they're the old ones. They wouldn't be in great shape. But anyway, this collection actually was nice because it had some black and white art too, and I thought that would be really fun to check out. So yeah, let's get to it. This won't be a super long video because I've got a lot of stuff to do, but I wanted to see what Ditko did, and I did actually see stuff that looked like spaghetti webbing in this, which was interesting. So I don't know if it'll be in this particular pages that I got, but I think we'll be able to spot it. He does it pretty consistently on a few things. And I don't really know, the look, Stan Lee penciled this and Ditko inked it, I guess. No, just kidding. Oh, this is cool. I saw that there was a Doctor Strange collection too, which sounded really interesting. So for people that are Ditko fans, let me know if you'd like me at some point to go through the Doctor Strange collection, or if you have a favorite title or issues that I should pick, because I didn't really know exactly what I should grab. But this will be fun to look at. It's interesting. I don't even know who inks Ditko. We'll see, I guess, as we get inside, if he was inking himself, or if he had like a go-to, like Kirby had a few inkers that he used a lot. This is interesting. These aren't great reproductions. I bet on Heritage auctions I could find bigger scans off of the original art, so I can look into that too. This looks actually like it's off an original page. This is cool. Look at Spidey. He's got pupils. This is interesting. It's funny because he doesn't have the Jack Kirby, John Buscema sort of vibe to his stuff, which we got very accustomed to seeing with like the Marvel books. Amazing Fantasy. It's so crazy that was coming out at the time. This is really interesting. Man, it's so crazy. It's a cool design for a character. I definitely prefer it without the pupils in the eyes. But past that, it's interesting. Here he doesn't have them. This must be... I don't know what's going on, why all of a sudden his pupils appeared. We'll see in the other pages. I don't remember it in any of the other stuff that I saw. This is cool. This looks like early... Man, it's so funny. I like how he draws feet. That's kind of cool. I've got the magic wand selected. I was doing magic before I started this video, apparently. Yeah, I feel lucky to have come up through Wildstorm. There didn't seem to be a lot of like drama that has come from that studio in any way, shape, or form. It was a pretty mixed group of people, honestly, just in general. and we were all very different, you know, lots of different interests and stuff like that. And there was guys and girls and all different nationalities, and it's like, luckily everyone played pretty nice there. The sole on his shoe is a little out of perspective, just a touch. No, maybe not. So I don't know. They probably would have credited an inker if an inker inked it. So possibly DITKO did it all himself, which is impressive. Who knows how many pages a day these guys were asked to draw. Oh, it's funny. Wow, that's really, really trippy. It looks like a little kid drawing. I don't know if that's intentional, because this is much better. But yeah, this is funky. I still, to this day, almost never can remember the loop shape, which way it goes. I've only drawn Spider-Man 2 or 3 times, so... But, yeah, I always have to, like, go, what way do these things curve? It's easy to remember if you just think of it as M's. They go M ways, not W. Like, they don't go like that. Live and learn, friends. That'll help me remember it, though, from the future. We learned it together right now. It's M's, not W's. Now, the question is will I remember that a year from now when I finally draw my 3rd Spider-Man drawing? We shall see. Oh, you know what? And speaking of that, for people that hopefully are sticking around on this video, I'm going to actually do something that I wouldn't normally do, but I have to lead by example here. I think it's very, very important to do it. Especially, like, I feel an obligation to the patrons, but also to the people that maybe either haven't gone to Patreon and checked it out, or just follow me online. I've been a bad social media representative of art. I don't post art enough, and I apologize for that, and I'm going to rectify that. I'm really, really busy the next, like, 4 or 5 days, but once I finish this book I'm working on, I kind of do head into another tight deadline for 3 weeks, but I have to start posting daily art for everyone. My pencils. It's a must, because I have to lead by example. I have to show people to be brave. I have to show people to go for it, to not be afraid to crash and fall. My voice is like falling apart as I'm saying the sentence. Let me grab a sip of coffee really quick. It sounded like I was getting choked up, but I actually wasn't. I was just getting choked. Yeah. So it's I think what it is because I do a lot of lessons and reviews, especially right now. I've had to do a ton because of everyone being home for COVID-19. But I throw out this advice, and the drawing advice that I give is always sound. I do, honestly, way more penciling reviews and lessons than inking, but I do some inking ones. I don't avoid them, but just more people are gravitating to me because of the drawing stuff. I think it's because I have a knack of being able to break stuff down into very simple, more understandable approaches, and then you can take it as advanced as you want. But if you don't understand the fundamentals, you're done from the beginning. You'll hit your head against the wall a million times trying to improve. And if you just learn your structure the right way, you get it. But the other advice that I give them is things like, how to do social media, how to build a fan base, how to interact with your fans and stuff like that. And I think I have a good demeanor for being on YouTube and being somewhat pleasant to listen to, and people appreciate my honesty with things. And like I said, there's a part of me right now that's honestly a little embarrassed for the comic book business in general. I think that on every side, there's some serious reflection that people need to make. I find a lot of what I see going on, and again, it's a shotgun blast in every direction. It's kind of embarrassing, honestly. These people need to grow up and just like act like normal humans. I don't know what is going on. No one behaved like that at Wildstorm. I'm telling you, I'm not going to put that studio up on any kind of pedestal, but there was more normal people that work there than not. Thank God. But I always like my music career grounded me before comics ever did, and maybe that's why I'm more a little different. But yeah, so anyway, but I've got to walk the walk. It's a stupid, generic, you know, oh, I saw a second name. I wanted to see if it was. Yeah, so I guess DITKO inked all this stuff. But yeah, I have to represent you guys properly. It's incredibly important to me. So thank you for all being here and supporting me. And then hopefully I'll make you proud by not being afraid to fail, by getting out there and mixing it up and really putting my art out there. Because that's what people want to see. They're tired of seeing me ink other people. I get that. But I'm a picky bastard, but I have to just let it go. Let it go. So drawn by Steve Ditko. No inking credit. That is fascinating. This is, I don't remember the issue number, but I kind of went in a few issues. This might be like around issue 4 or 5. These alligators are hysterical. They look like alligators to me more than crocodiles. So I'm going with alligators. Which alligators aren't man-eaters? Crocodiles are. An alligator will kill you, but it probably won't eat you. See? And you learn here, too. I was told that in Florida. Crocodiles are like honey badger. They don't care. They're going to down your ass. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled for spaghetti webbing. I'm telling you, well, like, I saw the golden. I Googled golden and looked around and saw an example of golden doing spaghetti webbing. I still think Larson did it to me, the one that looks the most like McFarlane before McFarlane. He may have gotten it from golden, but he amplified sort of the effect more. Unless there's other examples of golden, but the Marvel poster that Michael Golden did definitely had webbing wrapping around it. But you'll see Ditko does something very similar. But it wasn't as dynamic as what Larson did. Larson spelled it out and really was like, this is a technique. I'm going to really play up this secondary strand of webbing going around the exterior of the thing. Worst case scenario, I will go into the folder and we'll find an example of what Ditko did, because to me, what Golden did looked a bit more like Ditko. But Golden may have a bunch of drawings that I didn't see that show it. If someone knows the exact drawing that they're talking about, let me know, because it would be cool to see it. So this one, he's not doing it. This is what you'll see, though, is you see where it's coming out right here? He does this a little bit on the webbing occasionally. It's usually just a scribble circle around it, but I definitely saw examples of it. Let's see. Yeah, it was a really fun video. The comment section was awesome. Everybody was so smart and knew so much. So it was really interesting reading everybody's comments. I liked it a lot. Let's make comics great again. I mean, there are already windows of comics that are great, but man, I'm serious. It needs a serious freaking overhaul. Ugh. Alright, come on. Let's see some spaghetti webbing, Ditko. This is nice. I like this a lot. You can see him getting more comfortable with the character, too. I think a lot of those black and white pages might have been from earlier issues, but this is looking more superheroic. You can see him lighting the costume in a slightly better way, too. He's picking better shapes that suggest lighting on it or highlights. Like the blue would be the light, and then like little shadows and reflections and stuff, but that's nice. It's incredible that they worked this out. It would be really fascinating to see the evolution of that. DC used to give us comps of all the old I can't think of what they're called. They're called like they're hardcover books of like the earliest stuff, like the Golden Age. And there were some really good artists in them. There was a couple that I kept that I had never even heard of the artist's name. I think it was one of the early artists on either Hawkman or The Flash. One of those two books, but man, he could draw cool. I mean, but in a very restricted environment, you know what I mean? It was these grid pages and people weren't jumping out of the panels and stuff like that, but you could really tell this guy had like some skills. All busted out. It's in my garage. If I see the book, I'll grab it because I still have to see. It might even be oh, what's the other character? Like the Atom? Not the Atom. Is the Atom Marvel or DC? I don't know what it is, but it's a weird one. Like, I'll see it. It's kind of a yellowish or orangish colored book, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, there's these little flashes of just, you can tell the guy could really draw. This is great. His Doctor Doom is funny. It looks like a little kid in a costume running around like a backyard. It's rare to see Doctor Doom near a picket fence. Talk about it underwhelming. Like this right here. It's so funny. I'm gonna shoot you, Spidey. He looks like he's like 5'7". That's hysterical. Oh my gosh. Doctor Doom is so badass. I think did Finch just do a Doctor Doom thing? And also, by the way, I've already plugged his channel, I think, in 1 or 2 videos. But David is putting up educational videos, and I really actually appreciate the fact that he came to YouTube and is being so generous with not only his time, but sharing valuable information to aspiring artists, and he has so many fans. So I think it's really incredible that he's doing that, and very, very cool. There's not a lot of professionals that would go to YouTube and actually just sort of do that for what to me appears to be genuinely wanting to just share and help people like me. That's why David and I, we were a good pair. We're kind souls. I'm just not Canadian. Imagine if I was Canadian, how nice I would be. It would be ridiculous. We're not getting any spaghetti. We're not getting spaghetti webbing. This is really cool, though. I like this a lot. These are great little drawings. But yeah, I'm getting crushed by a deadline, and then also Patreon has gotten really, really busy. I've never, ever in my life done more reviews and lessons. I mean, it's almost... Normally, I could knock out everything that I needed to do for a month in a day. Now I'm doing literally like 4 or 5 hour sessions, and I'm still not able to keep up with them. I was almost caught up last night, and then I had a whole bunch. I had 4 more pop up. So as soon as I get caught up with all that stuff, I'll do that Silent Wolf piece, because I did work on it for like 90 minutes, I mentioned. But here we go. Oh no, not it. It must come later in his run, the more spinner web thing, spaghetti webbing. But yeah, it's just crazy. And then the pages that I'm working on for Nightwing are taking forever right now. I'm making Ryan Benjamin. This is where I like to see Doctor Doom. Oh man, Marvel has the best characters. But you know, this is how I look at Marvel, honestly, is I have a hunch that I'll probably never ever end up working for them. I don't know why, it just feels that way. But it doesn't mean that I can't create my own pantheon of Marvel-style characters. Not that I would sit and try to rip off, like, go, oh, I'm going to do a Doctor Doom or a Ghost Rider or whatever. But it's like, you know, at one point, none of these characters existed. And creative people like DITKO and Jack Kirby and all the great artists that came through Marvel came up with this stuff. So why can't I? Why can't you? You know what I mean? And I'm not anti-Marvel, but just, it's like, I really just don't ever see how I would work there. The door doesn't seem to be open for me, for whatever reason. Who knows? Maybe down the road it would be, but I've done nothing to create that chasm. I've inked a little bit of stuff for them, but it's generally through a penciler, you know what I mean? Like a penciler will ask for me, and then they'll pick me up. The editors aren't as friendly as the DC editors. The DC editors tend to be quite nice, generally speaking. But I'm basing it on like 2 or 3 jobs with Marvel. So, and it wasn't like no one was mean, but yeah, it was just like I always just felt like it was, you know, I couldn't even name the editors, to be honest, anymore. I don't even remember who they were. Okay, so no spaghetti webbing in these pages. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in myself. Is this cool? I feel like I've seen this before. I don't know what from, though. Like a Luke Cage drawing or something like that. Like, it looks like, it's funny because I thought he was grabbing like popcorn for a second. This is funny. He almost has like a girl's body right here. He's very like, he's very lean compared to, he looks more portly here. It's funny. Man, I saw I think it was just like a short teaser trailer for like a Miles Morales PS5 game. It looked really really freaking good. It looked real good. I mean, man, if they capture a little bit of the Spider-Verse sort of vibe in that game with some of the aesthetics, that'll be a nice looking game. The Spider-Man games always play real fun. The swinging around the city is always pretty cool. This is nice. I like this. It's funny because you can kind of feel them stretching their wings on the cartooning and the characteristics and the like larger than life things. It's like there's like these little moments where, you know, soon they'll be turning the panel a little bit sideways and there'll be more foreshortening on these figures, and you know what I mean? It's like little things like this are like probably aha moments back then, you know, where it's like, oh hey, that one guy, he broke the panel border and the hand was coming out. Not that it is, but you know what I mean? It's like one person does it. That would be interesting to see where in Marvel Comics who was the first one to break the gutters, because it doesn't look like here. I might have missed it at this point. Look, that pixel is breaking the border. No, but yeah, it's those little things, you know. It all groomed a new style of comics that just got more and more wild until we have what we have today. That's awesome. Spider-Man is the one book where I actually always really enjoyed the Peter Parker stuff a lot, almost in some ways more than the Spider-Man stuff, at least in the Amazing Spider-Mans that I had read. I always found like Peter trying to hide from Aunt May and his high school troubles and stuff like that. They were always pretty well written in the books that I had checked out, and it was pretty fun. My other early favorite was I loved reading the Punisher War Journal, War Zone, the regular series. Those were always fun, and they were short hits of like 1 to 3 issues, which I always bring up because I think for someone that's a new collector, it's inviting to be able to know that like, oh, okay, this is part 1 of 3. It's not issue 97. I feel like I missed 96 issues of a comic book. Because most collectors are perfectionists, we have that collector's OCD, and the idea of that can be a turnoff, I think to some extent. Maybe not for everyone, but we want it all, and we want it in order, and we want to know what happened and what was going on. I was going to make a bad joke, but I'll avoid it. It was a completely random new thought, though, so it wasn't like continuing what we're talking about, but I'm going to be nice. Even though comics could use a good kick in the nuts right now. Multiple nuts. Look at that. That's what, like, go get him, Spider-Man. Punch that fool. Look at this car. It's awesome. Those are interesting cop outfits. Is that what they wore in the 60s? Is like a blouse like that? That's interesting. That would be hard to run and even access your belt. Look how far down his jacket goes. That's weird. Let me know if anyone knows. Did cops wear jackets that long? It seems very weird. It would be like a military guy wearing a jacket that goes over his gear. You want to be able to get to your stuff fast. He knows. This is great right here. This is really good. I love the torque of the body, actually. I don't know what's going on in this panel, but it's probably not safe for work. Oh, that's cool. From your pal. Yeah, this is really nice. I love the way he lights the costume. Oh man, the Human Torch. God, Marvel has so many cool characters. This is a really cool page. Man, I like this one a lot. That's so cool. There's a comic, Amazing Spider-Man cover where I think they have this symbol like this on a wall, and it looks really great. This is awesome. This is really cool, and then these are great too. Look at those brush strokes. They're beefy. That's funny. The sci-fi tech. Okay, I need to start wrapping this up because this is what I'm talking about. I haven't even started my actual work day, and I've got to do a page and even a little bit more, like over a page, like about a page and a third today. Oofa. Oofa. I can't believe we're going to go through all these pages and there ain't going to be one damn reference to his spaghetti webbing. Like, this would be a good example where he would use it, and he just takes a black line and just goes like this over it, like wraps it around it. That's essentially what we got going on. This is nice. His Doc Ock is actually very, very cool. It's a very fun design for a character. I love that they gave him that kind of goofy haircut, the sort of like Frankenstein hair. It's really a nice touch. It makes him unique, you know. Can always spot them. That's one thing with Marvel characters. Their silhouettes are generally quite strong, where if you just had, you know, black outlines of most of the Marvel characters, I think in general you would be able to tell who's who. That's important, you know. I don't think you could say that with all comic book characters out there, but Marvel did a good job with that. Marvel, as it was once pronounced. No, it was never pronounced. This is cool. It's funny how this extended. I don't remember it ever being that long on him before. I guess he kept it consistent on this page, but I thought it was just under his arms. That's funny. I guess that helps him when he jumps. Like, it kind of maybe breaks the air a little bit. Wow, that's weird. I did not notice that in the earlier pages. That is really cool pose, though. This is cool, too. This is nice. Oh, that's really interesting. I like this. This is a great little drawing right here. This is funny, too. Oh, man, he's going to slingshot himself. Go, Spidey, go. I like how he bent the web here. And the Fantastic Four, another great group of characters. FF gets no love anymore, though, right? Like, if you're... Well, I have a friend who's a huge Fantastic Four fan. And I haven't asked him about it, but I bet it's got to be tough. They don't even make Fantastic Four comics anymore, I don't think, right? It's a shame. There had to have been a way to make it feel cool contemporary-wise. I just can't believe that there's no interest in that. But apparently there's not. Yeah, I'm really curious to see his Doctor Strange stuff, because I have a hunch that my guess would be that he did Doctor Strange after Spider-Man, which would lead me to believe that as things progressed and more comics were being made, not only by him, but by people around him, like Kirby and stuff, that his work got more and more crazy, because, like, this is much more dynamic than some of the earlier stuff that we saw. This is cool. These are great poses. I'm about wrapping this up. Okay. I'll go into the folder and I'll look for a spaghetti webbing really fast. Let's do that. This is cool. Nice page. This is funny too. We haven't seen a lot of tight shots like this. This is starting to be more cutting edge. The camera angles are becoming more dramatic. The poses are more dramatic. The shots and the camera positions are different. Sorry, let's see this. Mario extra large. Let's see if. Let's see if this is better. Whoa, he has rope here. Alright, that doesn't work. I'm looking for webbing. Let's see if this is... Is it still rope? Come on. Shoot some spider webs, Spidey. You can do it. I know you can. People are screaming right now. Issue 32! Pick that one. That one right there. It's the origin of the spaghetti webbing right there. All right, come on. I think we got it. Yeah, here it is. Yay. This. Do you see this? That's what he does. So, again, I'm going to say that Golden does something kind of similar to this based on what I saw on the Marvel Mary poster. And then Larson took that even further. But Golden definitely amplified this. And there could be more examples of Golden doing it. But you can see a little bit of it here. It's interesting, though. But, okay. You all have a great day. Stay cool. Yeah, like I said, my pledge to you is I'm going to share more art online and be more open. I'm going to not be afraid to fail, and I'm going to be a good role model for all of my fans and students, which I never thought I would say that I had students, and just people that get reviews from me. I need to set a better example for everyone, and then together we shall make comics great again. All right, later, bye.